cookie is a sweet biscuit with high sugar and fat content. Cookie dough is softer than that used for other types of biscuit, and they are cooked longer at lower temperatures. The dough typically contains flour, sugar, egg, and some type of oil or fat. It may include other ingredients such as raisins, oats, chocolate chips, or nuts. Cookie texture varies from crisp and crunchy to soft and chewy, depending on the exact combination of ingredients and methods used to create them. People in the United States and Canada typically refer to all sweet biscuits as cookies. People in most other English-speaking countries call crunchy cookies biscuits, but may use the term cookies for chewier biscuits and for certain types, such as chocolate chip cookies. Cookies are often served with beverages such as milk, coffee, or tea, and sometimes dunked, which releases more flavor by dissolving the sugars while also softening their texture. Factory-made cookies are sold in grocery stores, convenience stores, and vending machines. Fresh-baked cookies are sold at bakeries and coffee houses. Terminology. In many English-speaking countries outside North America, including the United Kingdom, the most common word for a crisp cookie is biscuit. Where biscuit is the most common term, cookie often only refers to one type of biscuit, a chocolate chip cookie. However, in some regions, both terms are used. The container used to store cookies may be called a cookie jar. In Scotland, the term cookie is sometimes used to describe a plain bun. Cookies that are baked as a solid layer on a sheet pan and then cut, rather than being baked as individual pieces, are called bar cookies in American English or tray bakes in British English. Etymology. The word cookie dates from at least 1701 in Scottish usage, where the word meant plain bun rather than thin baked good, and so it is not certain whether it is the same word. From 1808, the word cookie is attested, in the sense of small, flat, sweet cake in American English. The American use is derived from Dutch koekje little cake, which is a diminutive of koek, cake, which came from the Middle Dutch word koek, with an informal dialect variant koekie. According to the Scottish National Dictionary, its Scottish name may derive from the diminutive form plus suffix ie of the word cook, giving the Middle Scots cookie, cookie, or coo, see kai. There was much trade and cultural contact across the North Sea between the Low Countries and Scotland during the Middle Ages, which can also be seen in the history of curling and perhaps golf. Description: a dish of assorted cookies, including sandwich cookies filled with jam. Getty Images. Cookies baking in an oven. Cookies are most commonly baked until crisp or else for just long enough to ensure a soft interior. Other types of cookies are not baked at all, such as varieties of peanut butter cookies that use solidified chocolate rather than set eggs and wheat gluten as a binder. Cookies are produced in a wide variety of styles, using an array of ingredients including sugars, spices, chocolate, butter, peanut butter, nuts, or dried fruits. A general theory of cookies may be formulated in the following way. Despite its descent from cakes and other sweetened breads, the cookie in almost all its forms has abandoned water as a medium for cohesion. Water in cakes serves to make the batter as thin as possible, the better to allow bubbles, responsible for a cake's fluffiness, to form. In the cookie, the agent of cohesion has become some form of oil. Oils, whether in the form of butter, vegetable oils, or lard, are much more viscous than water and evaporate freely at a far higher temperature. Thus, a cake made with butter or eggs in place of water is much denser after removal from the oven. Rather than evaporating as water does in a baking cake, oils in cookies remain. These oils saturate the cavities created during baking by bubbles of escaping gases. These gases are primarily composed of steam vaporized from the egg whites and the carbon dioxide released by heating the baking powder. This saturation produces the most texturally attractive feature of the cookie, and indeed all fried foods: crispness saturated with a moisture, namely oil, that does not render soggy the food it is soaked into. History. Cookie-like hard wafers have existed for as long as baking has been documented, in part because they survive travel very well, but they were usually not sweet enough to be considered cookies by modern standards. Cookies appear to have their origins in 7th century AD Persia, shortly after the use of sugar became relatively common in the region. They spread to Europe through the Muslim conquest of Spain. By the 14th century, they were common in all levels of society throughout Europe, from royal cuisine to street vendors. The first documented instance of the figure-shaped gingerbread man was at the court of Elizabeth I of England in the 16th century. She had the gingerbread figures made and presented in the likeness of some of her important guests. With global travel becoming widespread at that time, cookies made a natural travel companion, a modernized equivalent of the travel cakes used throughout history. One of the most popular early cookies, which traveled especially well and became known on every continent by similar names, was the jumble, a relatively hard cookie made largely from nuts, sweetener, and water. Traditional American Christmas cookie tray. Cookies came to America through the Dutch in New Amsterdam in the late 1620s. The Dutch word koek was anglicized to cookie or cookie. The earliest reference to cookies in America is in 1703 when the Dutch in New York provided, in 1703, at a funeral 800 cookies. The modern form of cookies, which is based on creaming butter and sugar together, did not appear commonly until the 18th century. The Industrial Revolution in Britain and the consumers it created saw cookies, biscuits, become products for the masses, and firms such as Huntley and Palmer's, formed in 1822, McVitie's, formed in 1830, and Carr's, formed in 1831, were all established. The decorative biscuit tin, invented by Huntley and Palmer's in 1831, saw British cookies exported around the world. In 1891, Cadbury filed a patent for a chocolate-coated cookie. Classification. Cookies are broadly classified according to how they are formed or made, including at least these categories. Bar cookies consist of batter or other ingredients that are poured or pressed into a pan, sometimes in multiple layers, and cut into cookie-sized pieces after baking. In British English, bar cookies are known as tray bakes. Examples include brownies, fruit squares, and bars such as date squares. Drop cookie dough ready to be put in the oven. Thumbprint cookies. Drop cookies are made from a relatively soft dough that is dropped by spoonfuls onto the baking sheet. During baking, the mounds of dough spread and flatten. Chocolate chip cookies, Toll House cookies, oatmeal raisin, or other oatmeal-based cookies and rock cakes are popular examples of drop cookies. This may also include thumbprint cookies, for which a small central depression is created with a thumb or small spoon before baking to contain a filling, such as jam or a chocolate chip. In the UK, the term cookie often refers only to this particular type of product. Filled cookies are made from a rolled cookie dough filled with a fruit, jam, or confectionery filling before baking. Ham and taschen are a filled cookie. Molded cookies are also made from a stiffer dough that is molded into balls or cookie shapes by hand before baking. Snickerdoodles and peanut butter cookies are examples of molded cookies. Some cookies, such as hermits or biscotti, are molded into large flattened loaves that are later cut into smaller cookies. No-bake cookies are made by mixing a filler, such as cereal or nuts, into a melted confectionery binder, shaping into cookies or bars, and allowing to cool or harden. Oatmeal clusters and rum balls are no-bake cookies. Pressed cookies are made from a soft dough that is extruded from a cookie press into various decorative shapes before baking. Spritzgebäck is an example of a pressed cookie. Refrigerator cookies, also known as icebox cookies, are made from a stiff dough that is refrigerated to make the raw dough even stiffer before cutting and baking. The dough is typically shaped into cylinders, which are sliced into round cookies before baking. Pinwheel cookies and those made by Pillsbury are representative. The Bakar Khani flatbread cookie is part of Mughlai cuisine of the Indian subcontinent. Rolled cookies are made from a stiffer dough that is rolled out and cut into shapes with a cookie cutter. Gingerbread men are an example. Sandwich cookies are rolled or pressed cookies that are assembled as a sandwich with a sweet filling. Fillings include marshmallow, jam, and icing. The Oreo cookie, made of 2 chocolate cookies with a vanilla icing filling, is an example. A pack of finished domino cookies. Other types of cookies are classified for other reasons, such as their ingredients, size, or intended time of serving. Breakfast cookies are typically larger, lower sugar cookies filled with heart-healthy nuts and fiber-rich oats that are eaten as a quick breakfast snack. Lactation cookies are cookies that are said to stimulate a breastfeeding parent's milk production. Low-fat cookies or diet cookies typically have lower fat than regular cookies. Raw cookie dough is served in some restaurants, though the eggs may be omitted since the dough is eaten raw, which could pose a salmonella risk if eggs were used. Cookie Dough Confections in New York City is a restaurant that has a range of raw cookie dough flavors, which are scooped into cups for customers like ice cream. Skillet cookies are big cookies baked in a cast iron skillet and served warm. They are either eaten straight from the pan or cut into wedges, often with vanilla ice cream on top. Supersized cookies are large cookies, such as the Panera Kitchen Sink cookie. These very large cookies are sold at grocery stores, restaurants, and coffee shops. Vegan cookies can be made with flour, sugar, non-dairy milk, and non-dairy margarine. Aquafaba icing can be used to decorate the cookies. Cookie cakes are made in a larger circular shape, usually with writing made of frosting. Reception. Lee Ettman from Nutrition Action has criticized the high calorie count and fat content of supersized cookies. She cites the Panera Kitchen Sink cookie, a supersized chocolate chip cookie, which measures 512 inches in diameter and has 800 calories. For busy people who eat breakfast cookies in the morning, Kate Bratscare from the Huffington Post recommends lower sugar cookies filled with heart-healthy nuts and fiber-rich oats. A book on nutrition by Paul Insel et al. Notes that low-fat or diet cookies may have the same number of calories as regular cookies due to added sugar. In popular culture, there are a number of slang usages of the term cookie. The slang use of cookie to mean a person, especially an attractive woman, is attested to in print since 1920. The catchphrase, "That's the way the cookie crumbles," which means "that's just the way things happen," is attested to in print in 1955. Other slang terms include smart cookie and tough cookie. According to the Cambridge International Dictionary of Idioms, a smart cookie is someone who is clever and good at dealing with difficult situations. The word cookie has been vulgar slang for vagina in the US since 1970. The word cookies is used to refer to the contents of the stomach, often in reference to vomiting, e.g., pop your cookies, a 1960s expression, or toss your cookies, a 1970s expression. The expression cookie cutter, in addition to referring literally to a culinary device used to cut rolled cookie dough into shapes, is also used metaphorically to refer to items or things having the same configuration or look as many others, e.g., a cookie cutter tract house, or to label something as stereotyped or formulaic, e.g., an action movie filled with generic cookie cutter characters. Cookie duster is a whimsical expression for a mustache. Soggy biscuit or uki cookie is a game wherein multiple men will simultaneously masturbate around a cookie, and the last person to ejaculate onto it is forced to eat it. Cookie Monster is a Muppet on the children's television show Sesame Street. He is best known for his voracious appetite for cookies and his famous eating phrases, such as "me want cookie," "me eat cookie," or simply "cookie," and "om nom nom nom," said through a mouthful of food. Cookie Clicker is a game where players click a cookie to buy upgrades to make more cookies. Notable varieties. See also List of cookies. Alfajor, Angel Wings Krusaki, Animal Cracker, Anzac Biscuit, Berger Cookie, Berner Haselnusselkuchen, Biscotti, Biscuit Rose de Reims, Black and White Cookie, Blondie, Bourbon Biscuit, Brownie, Butter Cookie, Chocolate Chip Cookie, Chocolate-Coated Marshmallow Treat, Congo Bar, Digestive Biscuit, Fat Rascal, Fatigman, Fly's Graveyard, Florentine Biscuit, Fortune Cookie, Fruit Squares and Bars, Date, Fig, Lemon, Raspberry, etc. Ginger Snap, Gingerbread House, Gingerbread Man, Graham Cracker, Heyman Tash, Hobnob Biscuit, Joe Frogger, Jumble, Kifley, Coolerakia, Crumte, Linzer Cookie, Macaroon, Meringue, Nice Biscuit, Oatmeal Raisin Cookie, Pastilla, Peanut Butter Blossom Cookie, Peanut Butter Cookie, Pepparkakor, Pfeffernuss, Pitzel, Polveron, Quirabia, rainbow cookie, ranger cookie, rich tea, ripisteria, rosette, rumball, rusk, Russian tea cake, rock cake, sablé, sand bagels, shekerpear, shortbread, snickerdoodle, speculoos, springerla, spritzgebäck spritz, stroopwafel, sugar cookie, tea biscuit, Torin gingerbread, tweel, wafer, windmill cookie,